You're listening to episode 90 minus 1 of...
Wait, 90 minus 1.
It's,
Round.
You got this.
Round up
You got this.
to...
You take 100, you subtract 10, but plus 1 of that 10, and then
10
you're at
plus...
where you're at. Yeah, so like 90 is 10 minus 100. So you take 100, and you minus 10. And then if it's one before that, but more than 88, you're at...
Welcome to episode 7 of Fresh Floppies.
Yep, got it.
What's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? Welcome to Fresh Floppies. This is a show wherein Noel and I...
Who?
That's him.
Hey.
We talk about the books that come out from the comic book stores, and then we talk about them but without spoilers, and then you enjoy it.
But what if I really, really, really enjoy spoilers?
Spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, we're fancy here. We read comics, and
you can spoil it to me after we're not recording. How about that? Hey,
wait, what's a floppy?
Oh, a floppy is a comic, not a new. It's any comic book.
After 7 episodes, you'd think that we would have this written down, just like a sort of script of the whole opening.
Doing it live. So
Doing it live.
Comics are also called floppies sometimes, and then we talk about them without spoilers.
So is that the ones that are like a bunch of comics in one
That's
thing
a trade paperback.
Oh.
Or if you want to feel fancy, a graphic novel.
Graphic novel.
So one of
what's
the
difference
biggest...
between a graphic novel and a trade paperback?
Nothing.
I actually think there's something.
I think there's something if you need there to be. A graphic novel is generally a book that comes out by itself as its own novel, as opposed to a collection of issues, I would say.
Yeah.
But that means that Watchmen is not a graphic novel.
It's not.
Right.
It's a collected comic series.
Dark Knight Returns is not a graphic novel.
It's not.
But they are widely considered to be graphic novels.
Yeah, I think they're wrong.
Yeah.
Like something like American Born Chinese. It was released as one full story, a graphic novel.
Graphic novel.
Whereas something that was in pieces collected, that is a trade paperback collected edition.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish there was another word for a trade paperback that wasn't trade paperback, because trade paperbacks also just kind of mean novels. Like soft cover novels.
It just means soft cover.
Yeah.
Trade paperback. Like it just means it's a cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, comics are happening this week. Assorted Crisis Events #1 from Image Comics by Dennis Camp and someone else. Eric Zawadsky and Jordi Belair and Hassan Otsmane Alou. So I did not know the name Dennis Camp until you were like, bruh, you got to be reading Ultimates. And then I was like, I read Ultimates. It was fine. And then I kept reading Ultimates. And now it's my favorite Ultimate book in the Marvel Ultimate.
It's not your favorite. It's the best. No. Because one is subjective as one is subjective. I'm saying that it's objectively the best Ultimate Universe
Well, I mean, that's
book.
also a subjective opinion.
No.
That it's the best.
I think...
Welcome to Twitter, where no one knows the difference between objective and subjective.
Well, also welcome to Twitter, where all that matters is my opinion. That's
true.
why it's
That's
objective.
true. Yeah.
It's objectively, I think it is the... See, even that's the stupid sentence. Objectively, I think...
it's an objective fact that you think that it's the best.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, it is honestly, it's the... a lot of people, all of them are good, but... It's the one that is the spine, the ongoing story that is the entire Ultimate Universe. So if you're not reading that, you're not really getting this whole maker thing.
And objectively, I think it's doing the most interesting stuff.
You mean subjectively? You think?
No. It's an objective fact that I think that it's doing the most interesting stuff.
I objectively think, not objectively I think.
No. Objectively.
Yeah, but
that's to say that the next thing I'm about to say is an objective fact. I think that it is the most interesting.
It's an objective thought.
So anyway, Assorted Crisis Events from Dennis Camp.
I feel like this conversation is in line with how weird this book is, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell me more.
Look, we're rolling into the segues. We're professionals in this
medium
racket,
yeah,
grift.
Yes.
Assorted Crisis Events #1. So this is a very grounded kind of mise en scene, cinema verite approach to... You like that?
Yeah. Just going through a glossary.
A glossary of douchey film facts. It establishes a mise en scene that kind of approaches the crisis of comic book crisis level events through the prism that is a singular civilian in one of these worlds.
Yes. So basically, if a crisis on Infinite Earths happened to real folks, which it's the first time that I ever remember that being touched upon in my world was Brian Michael Bendis, and I think it was a Jessica Jones story.
Yeah, it was this.
Where like she gets hired by some guy who's like, I woke up and my family was completely different.
Yeah, it was post 2015 Secret Wars.
Yeah.
There was some. She's a private investigator, so there were some people that just remembered the pre-written version of themselves.
I wish that's a whole series.
Yeah,
I wish that had been a whole series of just like, we kind of have a one shot here. So what'd you think of this? I thought this was great.
Yeah, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's I think the real star is the art. Dennis Camp just kind of works within this style. It's weird. It's so intricate in dialogue and in setting, but the art really kind of makes it more clear than I think anybody else could. There is a mix mash of different kind of not styles but techniques in this. So it does double page, full page, inline boxes. It really messes. It doesn't mess with the format or do anything new, but it just does it so brusquely and so like confidently. And then by the time there's a couple of parts towards the end where the panel layout kind of breaks and changes to being like more vertical and more diagonal, it just it really does kind of like it creates a flow in a book that by any other two people or four people would probably be a slog to read and or up its own butt.
Man, this is I'm flipping through it again because we read this
a couple weeks ago,
like a month ago, because they gave us we got PDFs, and I've been looking forward to talking about it. Now I'm just sitting here silently looking through it because it's so good. This was awesome. Highly recommend
really
if you're looking for a new book to jump on this week. Assorted Crisis Events, I highly recommend it. It's basically this woman comes out of her apartment building and just all of the different things that are going on in New York City on her way to work and then on the way home from work, and it's awesome. And there's a film crew shooting a movie outside of her house, so there's this whole question of like what's real, what's not real, while all of society is collapsing, but people are still trying to just keep living and going to work, and that feels very relatable.
There's a see that subplot I really like a lot too, because there's this sense of late stage capitalism about it where these crisis events and these black holes and these time rifts are happening around her neighborhood. So there are film crews filming it for their movie to take advantage of
what's happening.
Yeah. So it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. It's so this was awesome.
This is a really good book.
Really was blown away.
Eric Zawadzki, awesome.
Yeah,
like
that's a name to watch.
I've never seen your art before, but I can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, man, he's great.
Really, really good. Even just like the texture of people's hair, and so the main character has glasses and they get cracked. Just the way that they do the translucence of the glass is a master class in texture. Yeah. Whereas other artists wouldn't do that. They would probably just like put a crack or not even like bother with the extra layers. This is just really, really well done.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that is the colorist. That's the colorist work there. But I mean, the whole team is awesome. So good.
Everything working together.
Yeah, and the way that when certain things happen, like the whole color, the whole panel color shifts. Awesome. This is fresh AF for me.
Yeah.
Like this is my book of the week.
Top notch.
For sure.
The next book we want to talk about is All New Venom number 4, written by Al Ewing with art by Carlos Gomez. Last issue of this you read was 2, right? With Chuck stuff, or did you not even read issue 2?
Yep, I'm all caught up.
Okay. I skipped issue 3.
Oh,
I just jumped into this.
I mean, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since I think the big thing was probably spoiled on Twitter anyway.
I don't even know if I needed it.
Right.
Only because like all of that ground is covered here, and you know what?
And there's a nice.
I was gonna say I love recap pages. Thank you.
Give me a
thank
previously
you, Marvel.
on.
Thank you, Marvel,
every
for
issue.
continuing to do that.
Yes.
Even though you probably suck in a lot of other ways, thank you for
this one
at
thing.
least that one
Yeah.
thing. So I this book is charming.
Yeah.
It's funny and it's stupid.
Yeah.
And that in all the right balances.
Yeah.
And I really, really like this artist, Carlos Gomez. I was not very aware of, but it's pretty wonderful.
Mm-hmm. It's got like elements of Luke Ross.
There's a little bit of Cafu in there too.
Oh, you sure?
But yeah, the way that he does. The way that he does.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're looking at him now. I know what you're looking at.
I forgot that this happened.
No, how do you forget
it's
that
the
happened?
Best part of it's the best part of any book of this year.
Basically.
I love this scene.
There's. All right, stop, because we'll have to explain it soon, and then it'll just be like dead air for a while. It's a very, very funny action sequence in this book. It's just really wonderful. But the mystery of who All New Venom is still ongoing.
Yeah.
And it could be 2 or 3 people. It still can functionally be 2 or 3 people, and I'm not exactly sure yet. Even the characters that we've eliminated, only one it may not be now.
Yeah.
Because they shared the same room, but that's about it. I don't know. Like I'm kind of.
I mean,
down for
one
the
of
ride.
them, they're on the same page.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, 2 of them. No, that's who I was referring to, and then there's another one that shows up.
Okay, gotcha.
But it keeps swapping.
Yeah.
Like who it could potentially be changes each issue, and I think we're going to get a reveal next year. Next year.
Yeah.
We'll get a reveal next year. Issue 5, 2026.
What do you think of the online theory that it is Paul from Amazing Spider-Man?
Honestly, I hope it is.
Give us Paul.
I want it to be so bad. He's actually a side character in this book. Him and MJ.
Yeah.
Him and MJ have more relevance in this book than they do in Spider-Man. No, it's fine. Put him wherever. I don't care.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about Amazing Spider-Man. This is delicious. I had given up on Venom during the Venom War thing, and I'm right back in. This is awesome. Between this and Eddie Brock Carnage, which only has 1 issue so far, I'm in. Like these are both darling books. Really fun.
They're also very different books, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, this is really fun. I'm enjoying this more than I thought. I'm enjoying Venom for the first time since Donny Cates' run.
Oh my God, that run was so good. But yeah, this is wonderful.
So I think it's
also fresh AF.
Yeah, fresh, pretty fresh. Let's talk about Star.
Sorry,
that was awful.
My mouth sounds
absolutely awful. Oh, fuck you.
Star Wars: Legacy of Vader, number 2. Which continues.
Did I throw you off?
You did.
It's written by Charles Soule with art by Luke.
Luke Ross.
Yeah,
the aforementioned Luke Ross. I just mentioned him minutes ago.
So this is a continuation of Kylo Ren's rise to power post Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
A previously unexplored era of Star Wars, and it continues the same cool shit. What are we gonna say about this other than I think
this
it's cool.
is good.
Yeah.
Mileage may vary depending upon how you feel about the sequels, but Kylo Ren and Rey are 2 of my favorite Star Wars characters. I just love the way that they play off of each other, and I really enjoy a lot about the sequels. I don't think that they're perfect films, but they're enjoyable enough for me.
We don't have.
This. Do you think that this is adding anything particularly interesting to Kylo Ren's story? Because to me, it feels like we the reader, I almost said viewer, we the reader are sort of just going through Vader's origin stories on Tatooine here. So I don't think there's a lot in this issue that reveals anything. It just feels like a walk down memory lane with this bodiless head.
I disagree.
Tell me more.
I disagree. Without spoiling it, I disagree. There is a sequence in here that brings into stark contrast why this is not just
the 2-page spread.
Yes.
Which kind of makes me not like Kylo Ren as much as I did before that.
So you said it, so I'm going to litigate it. I truly dislike Rise of Skywalker.
Oh no, yeah, sure.
And this book almost punctuates that even more, because this trajectory, this character development trajectory that we're coming off of The Last Jedi for, is, if this goes where I think it's going to go, and I'm very excited about this trajectory, it is another thing wiped away by weird fan service.
Okay.
This growth, this thing that he's kind of going through and either denying of himself and or learning of himself, is going to not actually be have
relevant.
It's not going to be relevant or surface relevant whatsoever.
Oh, see, to me, the thing you're talking about, and we shouldn't be doing this on air because it's spoilers. But like the thing that's happening in here makes me think, oh, okay, so his return to Ben in Rise of Skywalker makes more sense because of this 2-page spread. It's like sowing the seeds of the same way that Charles Soule, whoever was writing Star Wars at the time, sort of helped the prequels make more sense to me, or at least flow a little bit better. I feel like that same work is being done here to be like, oh, it's not just out of nowhere that he reverts back to Ben in Rise of.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't really feel that, but sure. Like to me, it was more the movie was so slapdash that this does makes it even more in contrast of how slapdash it was in regards to like his flip and turn, because you're supposed to be able to see that, not just like 6 years later a comic book kind of fills in the gaps. And it also this doesn't paint him in a very good light. It shows a contrast of what he didn't have. In the context of this book, it wasn't you'll find that again. It was reject that.
Right.
And you're telling me the movie was you'll find that again? I'm like, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it that doesn't resonate as much to me with, oh, you're just a petulant child.
Yeah.
And you will always be a petulant child.
Yeah.
In spite of yourself.
Yeah.
That is a much more interesting story to me than the last act 5 minutes of being a hero before dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that part. I hate that he dies.
Well, that's just
really.
Like,
that's what bugs me the most, honestly.
Exactly. Like, make the turn, but then earn your fucking redemption for however long it might take, if never. Yeah. Not
taking the easy way out.
I saved one person and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like,
no, although it does match with Vader, right? He saved his son and then he dies.
But doesn't this kind of show you that it shouldn't match with Vader?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what like every way I kind of work around it is just like, this is what I needed and didn't know versus that
what I
with
was
given.
Time
jump.
Yeah.
But anyway, like,
this is good.
This is a great book.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm making this clear. I'm enjoying this.
Let's talk about a book that both of us aren't reading but jumped on.
Oh man. I don't know what it was about this issue other than, you know what, I really have enjoyed what I've read from Ghost Machine Image Comics. And then I just sort of fell off. I haven't read a single issue of the new Geiger series, even though I really like the miniseries. Redcoat, I read the first issue of Redcoat.
We read the first issue of all these books.
Yeah.
I think the first two of Rook, but other than that.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3, yeah. But for some reason, I was like, Redcoat, I'll read this. Number 10 came out this week from Image Comics by Jeff Johns, Brian Hitch, Andrew Curry, Brad Anderson, and Rob Lee. And this
good as hell, Brian Hitch.
Yes.
So good, Brian Hitch.
Yes.
There's only like one scene where I'm like, I know that actor. But other than that,
not bad.
This is really good, Brian Hitch.
Yeah. Although there's just a thing that he does with his arms.
Rubber bodies.
He does this
literally the first page.
Yeah. He does this weird thing with people's arms.
What you're not seeing is JD was doing a weird like elbow up thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb.
There's just something that he has been doing for decades. He's just this weird arm pose. Anyway, Redcoat number 10. I think that this is a wonderful jumping on point. I think that this issue was another fresh AF comic. I really like this character, and I really like who he's introduced here to. Annie
Oakley. She's on the
Annie
cover.
Oakley. Yeah, that's not a spoiler. I'm just trying to remember her name. All I can think of is Deadwood. Is that Annie Oakley? Oh my God, you've never watched Deadwood?
That's Calamity Jane.
Calamity Jane. That makes more sense. Because this does not feel anything like that character. But this was great. Basically, she is a entertaining sharpshooter who goes around the country and
the traveling circus kind of thing.
That's it, yeah. And he runs into her, and he's a cad. This Simon Pure is his name. He is a
accidentally immortal. Yeah,
accidentally immortal, and he just the adventures of him being a cad and running into famous folks throughout history. This is really fun.
Yeah, I think the only other thing you need to know too is that he just keeps failing upwards.
Yeah,
accidentally immortal, and his immortality gives him an insatiable hunger, which puts him in trouble all the time. So he's always borrowing or stealing because he can't
fill that.
Yeah, because you're immortal. Cast and Hitch cast Charlie Hunnam as
yes, he
Simon
did.
Pure.
Yes, he did.
But other
there's
than
one
that,
there's one panel specifically where I'm like, oh, that's who that is. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Charlie Hunnam. Yeah.
really right there. Yeah.
Oh, there was another one for me, but
it's
yeah.
Charlie.
Anyway, yeah.
But
what
did
you think?
It really fits. I think this is a very charming book.
Yeah.
I like to dislike Simon. And
Yes.
that is a very, very important balance for a book like this. Like if you have an anti-hero or as you put it, a cad, if they are just same thing. If they're just nasty, it's not fun. But if they are pure good, it's also not fun. So you have to keep creating these little instances of get caught doing the right thing or unintentionally doing the right thing or goodness gracious, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a shtick that could wear really thin.
Mm-hmm.
But this is fun. This is really fun. And then like why this might be a good jumping on point too. They yes and the origin very quickly and seem to introduce a important character at the very end.
I don't know if it's an introduction. I feel like we may have seen him before.
We've seen them in the other stuff, but it's if I didn't know anything, I'd be like, oh,
okay,
it meets this person. But yeah, this character was introduced in the Ghost Machine one shot and all kinds of other shit.
So my only problem with this book, and it is a nit that I'm picking, is why I understand the title is Redcoat. Why is my man still wearing this outfit?
I don't know.
It's been like a century.
I thought it also, but we also didn't read 8 other issues.
Is it glued to his? Is it like the rhino?
Neither of us have read.
He can't take it off.
Neither of us has read the other 8 issues, so I don't know.
Hey, if anyone,
if
anyone else has read the other 8 issues of Redcoat, let us know why he is still wearing this outfit, this soldier outfit.
He's a bit of an idiot and kind of an asshole, so sure.
Yeah.
I like 50 years later, still wearing it because like
it's got to stink
in dialogue here and there. I'm sure it's been laundered at least once or twice
in a century.
Yeah. In dialogue, there's a couple of times where people not really make mention of it, but it's like they wave it off as his shtick, as this asshole kind of thing. Which, I mean,
okay.
Think what if somebody remember in like the early 2000s, late 90s, it was really cool to wear like gasoline attendant clothes.
Yes, I do.
That performative kind of shit. Like when I see
jacket. The gas jacket.
You're wearing
gas station jacket.
You're wearing
I had
all
one.
Carhartt, and you never touched the undercarriage of a vehicle in your life. Like you're cosplaying.
I've touched other undercarriages. Does that count?
No,
damn
JD.
it. Okay,
no.
I'm touching my own undercarriage right now.
Unless you think that your partners are cars.
This is another good book, man. Yeah. I was making my way through my stack last night and this morning, just feeling good. You know, I'm in a good mood. Every book I'm reading is a banger. I love it.
How do you feel about talking about mid? Here we go.
Bring it on.
Nick Fury versus Fang Froom, written by J. Michael Straczynski with art by the amazing Elena Casagrande. And that art saved this book.
Oh.
Yeah. This is
okay.
So this series of one-shots, that J. Michael Straczynski is writing for Marvel. It's passion project, vanity project, whatever you want to call it. It's not connected, non-connected any time during the Marvel Universe history. One-shots of 2 pairings. We read Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon. There was Captain America and Volstagg. And now we've got Nick Fury and Fang Froom. This
art's great. You're right.
This is in 1940. It takes place in 1940, post World War I, pre World War II. Nick Fury is America's not in the conflict yet. Nick Fury is like working at a traveling kind of like air show, and he's approached by British Secret Service to come and help out with a thing. For the war effort that they're not allowed to be in yet. So, like, if you know history too, you know that there were these things like pre-war, us being in the war, us being the United States in the war. There was like factions of volunteers from a bunch of other countries that were helping the efforts in China and stuff. That's what this was. But there is a group of pilots who keep getting thwarted and can't even like get set up because there's a mysterious cloud that keeps stopping them, like a cloud with teeth. There's this so this guy asks Nick, because Nick doesn't know how to quit or stop, I want you to figure out what the hell this is, and then we'll figure out how to fix it. And it happens to be Fin Fang Foom.
Spoiler.
Sure. Which I didn't know, I should have known, is a shape-shifting alien who left his homeworld in search of planets to conquer centuries ago. Fin Fang Foom has been slumbering in his tomb on Earth, waiting for the right moment to strike.
What?
So
I had no idea about any of that.
So,
I just thought he was a big dragon with underpants.
There's editor's notes in here as to when Fin Fang Foom actually did appear for the first time. I think in 1965 or 66 or something.
Yeah.
So they do add in kind of like I will go to sleep for another 25 years because that's the length of my cycle kind of shit.
There's been a murder.
Basically.
that's
how he sounds.
That's his accent.
All of Fin Fang Foom's dialogue to me is Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah. I'll say it now.
Oh, why you in my cave? This is the first half of this book is so much info dump and so much of a slog.
Yeah.
It's like a war book that is not written by Warren Ellis or Garth Ennis. Sorry.
I was gonna say Ennis. Yeah. He's the dude.
He is the dude that I read war books of because they still so have good. They still have characterization and not just details and facts. This is just details and facts, and it's just so fucking boring. But when we finally get to the Alps and Foom, it's a fun ass book.
Okay.
So structured really weird, front loaded, kind of sloppy, but the art is so good and the back half of the book is so fun. Now, there's a coda on this issue.
What's a coda?
It's like a epilogue, a piece at the end, the post denouement. That is bordering on absolutely tasteless.
Oh,
not unlike. Do you remember that movie with the Kingsman?
Yeah,
not the Kingsman, the Kingsman.
I'm aware of it.
Did you see the third one? Spoilers, don't bother. But there is a post-credit sequence where like they do like a Thanos kind of reveal, and it's the axis of evil. So it's like, oh, so your big bad is Hitler.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like he's Thanos, I guess. Like they do like a
open
the door and it's Hitler. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like bordering on like dumb, like tasteless dumb. Not the thing you wanted to happen.
Yeah.
It didn't evoke the feeling you thought you were going for.
Gotcha.
It evoked like a cringe.
Yeah.
It's cringe.
Gotcha.
There's a beat at the end of this where it's it like rolls into real world events that's just like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, dude. We were playing with a dragon and now like World War II.
So what you're saying is it's cringe and it does not slay.
Sure.
Green Lantern Corps. Listen up, guys.
Fresh enough.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because
mid-fresh?
Elena Casagrande is absolutely excellent. If you are interested in what this art looks like, read her and Kelly Thompson's Black Widow run. 15 issues, beautiful book.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is,
and
I'm
Elena
reading that
Casagrande
now.
Also did the Blade series, the Dracula and Blade series from last year with Brian Edward Hill. Really, really good shit.
Nice. For anyone who doesn't know, the word CORPS is pronounced core.
That's corpse.
Not Green Lantern Corpse.
It is
which
Green Lantern Corpse.
People come into my shop and they say corpse.
They're dumb.
And I silently shake my fist at them. DC presents All In Green Lantern Corps #2.
I would prefer you to be like, don't you mean core?
Oh, sorry. We don't carry any Green Lantern Corps here in the store. We do have Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
More you fool.
You fool. No. I want you to make them feel real bad. Or be like, it's in front of you and be like, I'm looking for Green Lantern Corps. I don't see any dead Green Lanterns. Like, it's right there. Like, you meant core.
Oh.
You ignorant
Get out of
fool.
my store. You
babbling
slut.
fool.
Yeah. Anyway, this is really good. Man, when was the last time I cared about a Green Lantern book? Was it at the end of Jeff Johns' run? And I was like, this is a good signing off point. I would try dipping in here and there. This is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Jeremy Adams is writing it.
Passerin?
we have Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams as the writers, Fernando Passarin on pencils, who is wonderful, Eau Claire Albert inks, and Arif Prianto on colors, and Dave Sharp on letters. This is great. So I had gotten really tired really quickly of all of the emotional spectrum of colors for the lanterns. The fun thing that they're doing here is that most of those lanterns are gone, and that means there is nothing harnessing or directing those emotional spectrums of powers into particular people or to rings. So people are flipping out and just inhabiting and being infected by different emotions. And this is just a blast. So you've got people who were Red Lanterns are no longer Red Lanterns, people who are Yellow Lanterns no longer, etc. And they're sort of switching roles and having to deal with a different emotional part of the spectrum. This is really, really fun. I had no idea what happened to Atrocitus. So it's been interesting to catching up with that character, who was a big bad Red Lantern at one point. I really want more of this. There is a lovely, awkward interaction between John Stewart, Green Lantern, and Shia, Hawk Woman.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that they were together in the comic books, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just sort of put into this awkward situation where they start realizing they have feelings for each other.
Anymore. The last time I remember she was bumping uglies with. Last time I remember she was bumping uglies with Martian Manhunter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Pre-Death Metal.
The animated series, I knew they were together, but I want more of it. It's really adorable.
So the last issue was I dug, but it bothered me how they dealt with Jo.
She's not even in this one.
Oh, it's even more bugging, but all right.
This is just several. I think the only Green Lanterns you really need to know in this are John Stewart and Kilowog. This is their mission.
Okay.
So yeah,
cool.
This was another really fresh book this week. I'm really into it. I might actually start reading Green Lantern again.
Cool. Well, to stay on
banger books.
Well, spoilers. They're more bangers than not. To stay on DC, really, really quickly, because it was kind of requested for us to talk about these really fast. Absolute Superman #5, written by Jason Aaron with art by Pasquale Ferry. No, not Pasquale Ferry. Raphael Albuquerque. This book just
Raphael Albuquerque?
Isn't it?
I didn't look through it. Maybe. That's cool.
He's been doing it. Hang on.
No.
Yeah. Maybe not. Sandoval. Oops.
There we go. Raphael
Sandoval.
Sandoval. Rafa Sandoval. There we go.
This book continues to be awesome. It's we get to see the actual evacuation and the trauma associated with watching your planet explode due to the incompetence of the ruling class, juxtaposed with something similar happening on Earth in regard to a ruling class. It's a really expertly crafted book that I'm more and more impressed with every issue, which I really can't ask for anything else. Again, the best absolute book is the one I just read so far. So these are all really great.
That's awesome. I like that.
It's fresh AF. But what I really want to get to, that was a quick review. You're welcome.
That was good. That was great. Succinct.
I am caught up now on both Void Rivals and Transformers.
Of the Energon Universe initiative from Image Comics.
Void Rivals, written by Robert Kirkman with art by Lorenzo Di Felici. So issue 17 is perhaps the most important narrative issue in the entirety of the Energon Universe books.
Is it info dumpy?
No. No, because we spent 17 issues getting here to somebody answering questions.
Gotcha.
It is not like whiplash whatsoever, but we learn anybody that's been reading this, it's kind of like it started as like a star-crossed lovers / enemy mine, where two warring factions of civilizations are stranded on a planet and have to work together in order to get off. The Zartonians and the Agorians. It was, I think, Salila and Derek.
It's like, and
I
Bob.
mean, it's written like Darak, but
Oh, I see.
yeah, Salila and Derek.
Derek.
And this whole time we've been wondering. So like they take their helmets off in front of each other. Neither of them had ever seen each other's races, and they see that they look incredibly similar, other than a different skin color.
Yeah.
So then it just kind of reveals, it slowly explores this mystery as to why they're so similar but different, and warring factions and blah, blah, blah.
And why it's a secret.
The ring and why it's a secret. All of that is revealed in this issue. Every single clip of it is revealed in this issue.
Wow.
And it's so cool.
Oh,
It has ramifications for all of the Energon books.
Okay.
Most especially Transformers.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to the point too where in Void Rivals there are full-on Transformers side characters.
Yeah.
Like they are supporting cast in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought was really impressive is even though you've got, Hot Rod as a B character in this, like a subplot main character, he does not overshadow Solilo or Derek at all. This is still their book. This is still Void Rivals. It's just now getting bigger and bigger. Also, like a lot of Cobra Law stuff is being infused into this. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
This book is so good.
How's my boyfriend, Handroid?
He didn't have any lines this book, so you're fucked.
R.I.P. Handroid.
He's alive. He's just not useful.
Not getting his due.
Like he didn't need any. He didn't have any quips to insert into the large info dump from the God. And then I also read Transformers. This is written by Daniel Warren Johnson with art by Jorge Corona. I've been having pacing issues with this book on and off.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go away. It's just, this is a very scattershot book, and that is for a lot of people a positive. It's not a negative, but it also is. I really do wish sometimes that the books slow down and take a breath.
Yeah.
Because the emotional conversations or character beats that we do get are so fleeting that I can't really hold on to them. Like we've got Devastator and what's the other one? The big combiners. Devastator and the other one.
Yeah.
They're having a wrestling match in the middle of Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Exploding buildings left and right, taking the saucer and throwing it at each other kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then just like one panel of Optimus being like, save people. Or one tiny panel of Spike and his sister or his friend, I forget her name, talking over in the corner about all the stuff that they've lost. Like the book needs to breathe on occasion for me to really like feel the ramifications, because right now it's starting to be a little too noisy, a little too metal without the heart.
I understand.
Still really good, but the first 6 to 12 issues balanced it a lot better, and it feels like they're on a race to an end point, or not maybe an end point, but like at least a next like they're on a race to the next like big part. And it feels like that, and it's kind of sad.
One of my memories of this series is way early, where Optimus Prime is in a field and he had squished a deer.
I remember,
and that's like the scene that I think of first when I think of the Transformers books. I think we just need a little bit more of that.
Yes, that is
introspection.
No longer, that's not really a part of this book anymore. This book has become more about the overarching plot than the characters that exist in it.
Gotcha.
It's weird. It's like all the same ingredients are there, but they're just in a different measure, and the cake is not as fluffy as it once was.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah, right on.
Still, Jorge Corona is really stepping up. I think having DWJ's colorist, Mike Spicer, helps kind of bridge their two styles in a really, really fun way.
Yeah.
But he's just not the same visual storyteller. So that breathing room isn't baked in. It's just all bombast.
The other artists who work on this book are all very good.
All of them.
All of them are very good.
Jason Howard is fantastic. Jorge Corona is fantastic. Everyone is so good on this. It's just we're talking about a high echelon of competency and talent, to the point where you notice the finer things, because the baselines are covered before you even like turn a page. Because there's such a level of excellence, you can see the slight variations and changes. Like it's almost like a curse of being that good.
Yeah. To finish was no matter how good the other artists are, I'm still every issue wishing it was Daniel Warren Johnson drawing it.
I don't think we're going to see him on art again in this book.
I was kind of hoping he would come back to wrap up the 12-issue run.
Maybe not.
Wait, it was supposed to end at 12, wasn't it?
No, I think...
Or he was only supposed to write till 12?
No,
Am I
think
crazy?
It's 24.
24, okay.
I think he's like contractor for 24. Whether that means anything or not, I don't know.
Yeah. I hope he comes back.
He never left, my guy.
He's so
but he's doing like half art for The Moon is Following Us.
The Moon is Following Us, yeah.
So
which came out this week. I'm looking forward to catching up.
I don't foresee him coming back full time unless he's 6 issues ahead and drawing those now. But I hope. I don't know.
Daniel Warren Johnson, get on it. I want you back, baby.
It's a hard job.
What do we got?
Let's end with.
No, wait. You shut your mouth.
We're
not going to end just yet. I'm going to talk about Saga of the Swamp Thing number 37.
Brand new today.
From 1983, 6? I don't even know.
I think it's 86.
1985, which is the first appearance of John Constantine. And I got the action figure variant cover, which is a Superpowers collection action figure card.
I don't think they ever made that.
No. It's completely, this is drawn. But it's an action figure comic book. Or a comic book of...
Yeah, it looks like a blister pack.
There we go, blister pack. Thank you. And so I have never actually read, despite being a Constantine fan, I have never read the very first issue of Constantine in Saga of the Swamp Thing, which introduced him. This is John. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
I like this first issue introducing him. We come in on Swamp Thing after something has happened to him and he has been destroyed, and he is slowly trying to regrow himself. And his girlfriend,
Abby Cable,
Abby is helping.
Partner. So he there was a toxic sludge event, and he was completely unmade, and it's the first time he's been completely submerged in the green. So he's kind of learning how to, if it's even possible, to reconstitute myself.
Yeah. And so he's this tiny little moss thing that's growing, and she's putting insecticides on him and spraying water on him. And he's like, he has to form a mouth so that he can be like, stop it with the pesticides, it burns. To which she goes, oh, thanks for all the water. She's kind of a jerk. Like, you're burning me with poisons. What about all the water I gave you? So it's him slowly reconstituting his body, and then things are happening in the mystical realm, and so that involves John.
Yeah, this book is cool. I've been reading this.
This is really good.
I actually just finished this arc in my Swamp Thing read. Yeah, it's John Constantine. Like, he's kind of fully formed on the page. There's extra details that kind of come later in his history, but he's the same kind of like chaotic, neutral, what's best for me, and if it's best for the world, that's great too, kind of character. This is the beginning of a long arc where he is basically kind of pulling at Swamp Thing. He's pissing Swamp Thing off. He's just like, hey, if you want to know any answers, you should show up at this place here. And then something is happening there and he thwarts it. So like, he's basically using Swamp Thing for the next like 6 issues to make him do stuff for him, and then he'll finally like give him some answers. It's cool.
Yeah,
this is a good book.
This is really good. I know that for decades people have been telling me that the Alan Moore Swamp Thing is very, very good, but I've never cared that much about Alan Moore, and I really have never cared about Swamp Thing. But going back, I think we did for a book club, we did a Swamp Thing, the first volume of this, and it was awesome. It is so good. I think we did it for maybe the live stream. I don't remember, but podcast. I don't think it was book club. I doubt that would have been voted unless you. I meant book club on the podcast. Oh, on the podcast. Like, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. But this is really good. If you haven't read the Swamp Thing stuff by Alan Moore, highly recommend it. It's very good. It's very, very good. I want to end with a hot take. The Amazing Spider-Man number 69, 8 Deaths of Spider-Man number 9 of 10, written by Joe Kelly with art by Ed McGuinness. I like this issue. That's my hot take. Nice. It's this emotional beat and realization should have happened, I don't know, 5 issues ago in this 6-issue story that was brought out to 12. Yeah. I did find it narratively effective, and I really, really liked some of the sacrifices that were made. But it's also got a sense of too little, too late. But I liked the little thing. Do you like this? I do. Okay. I do think that this is a strong issue. Ed McGuinness's art is fun as hell. Oh, he's so good. Joe Kelly brings all the threads together in a fun way. I was so effing bored with how we got here that it's hard for me to just like, we're into it. Yep. But that doesn't deny the fact that this was probably the breeziest, most fun read of this whole series so far that I've enjoyed. Yeah. Like, because I liked the
the realization, like the conversation between, what is it, Sierra?
Mm-hmm.
Sierra and Coulson, and these realizations about Sidorak and the Blight, like all of this worked for me. But it was like an awesome in a sea of boring. So I like
100% with you.
It's cool as shit. On paper, if somebody was explaining this to me, I'd be like, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
This was not a fun journey to go on to get here, though. So, like, while I am excited for the next issue, like, ooh, what does that mean? I also, part of me kind of wants this person to be a love interest
right.
later in the run.
Yeah.
Like, so much.
Yeah.
But I don't have hope for any of those fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Just that, like, okay, so you didn't completely fumble the bag, and maybe this will have a good landing. That doesn't mean I didn't spend $40 and 11 other issues and 2-point deaths to get here that I didn't really like.
Yeah. Now, I think this started off really strong, and there was a steep dive off a cliff in the middle. And then, this issue, I was like, oh, here we go. This is fun.
Yeah, this should have happened a while ago.
But I don't care. And like, it's fun, but I don't care.
This feels like Dark Web. But Dark Web knew when to fucking leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it has the same kind of like vibe and feel and slapdash kind of like high concept nature of Dark Web.
Yeah.
But that was only like 4 issues in the main book and then like 2 tie-ins and some other miniseries that you can read. It didn't overextend itself within the main title, and you didn't have time to get bored with it.
Yeah.
It was just...
Yeah.
And this needed that. This needed that energy because this is weird as shit.
Yeah.
And it ends on a weird-ass note.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's a great... I mean, Ed McGuinness, man. Holy shit. So good. But I don't... Like, I was expecting something bigger and different, not just, oh, now he's that character that we already know, but with a spider suit on.
Unfortunately, I've seen covers, and this is a part of it. Like, when you were doing orders, you didn't see that. No. So kind of this was coming, but I also have a feeling this is just like Ed McGuinness wanting to draw whatever the fuck he wants to draw, and I always support that. Yeah. Because if that didn't exist, we wouldn't have Rec Rap.
I was getting ready to say, I miss Rec Rap. This makes me miss Rec Rap.
I want Rec Rap to show up and help him out.
Yeah. All the time. That
would make me so happy. Because we're fighting demons.
Yeah.
He's a demon. Let's go.
Yeah, where's Rec Rap? What the... oh, God, now I'm mad.
But I think this was fresh enough. I can't say it's a complete loss. Fresh. I just wish I didn't have to spend the time getting there.
Yeah, same. What are you looking forward to this week? Besides our live stream?
This week we're going to be talking about the first 3 episodes of the new Daredevil Born Again series. Comics-wise, I don't know. I think I read everything already that I've got booked. Oh, you know what? I'm last week's Secret 6 #1. I am excited.
Oh, I didn't read that either. Yeah, I want to read that.
I want to read that.
Yeah.
Mine is A Long and Lonesome Road or
Grave by Justin Jordan. But that's a couple weeks old at this point. Oh, 2? Did it?
Yeah.
Whoops. And I would like to read. Oh, because I really am enjoying Redcoat, I might go back and catch up on Geiger.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm looking at that Gary Frank cover, and Gary Frank is awesome. I love him.
I feel so far behind on all of them that I might just end up in trade, and we'll talk about it a year from now.
Oh, you know what comes out this week? East of West Compendium.
Yeah.
The John Hickman Dragotta.
I only read the first 15 issues. I need to, and it's been so long, I might have to restart the whole fucking thing.
I only read the first 6 issues.
Apparently, so like everybody online talks about how this is like the best series in the world, but you don't realize that until around like 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know what the hell's going on until the end of the first major arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, so have at it.
Yeah, man. If you guys haven't read East of West, I'm really excited to jump back into that and finish it. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah. Be sure to join us on our live stream every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't, it is always available afterwards. Like, comment, subscribe, say hello. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or requests from us, you can always email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com.
And that's it. We did it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk at you later.
Thank you for listening to the CultPop Network, home to podcasts, live shows, and a whole lot of fun stuff for every flavor of fan. Follow us wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to join us live every Wednesday night at youtube.com/CultPopGo at 8 p.m. Eastern. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we drop new Thunder Rounds and episodes of Fresh Floppies, a spoiler-free show about single-issue comics released each week. Until then, we'll talk at you later.